Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back, let me scoot this closer. So we can get some good volume right here. Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get to the intro for reals. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. I appreciate the support, and I'm very humbled by it. So is P. Diddy going home? Is he beating the case? Well, I'm about to tell you right now, it's looking real ugly for the prosecution, and it's looking mighty kosher pickle. And Diddy, I'm sure, knows a lot about pickles, right? When it comes to the defense, you know, Cassie Ventura, she got on the stand yesterday. She's going to continue to be on the stand today. And that cross-examination tore her up. She actually did a lot of damage to the prosecution. She actually painted Diddy, trying to paint him in a bad light, painted herself in a bad light. Very bad character witness, because they assassinated and destroyed her character. In fact, she destroyed her own character. You know, when Diddy first got arrested, there was a lot of, no Diddy, hashtag. There was a lot of people that were going in on the Didmeister, right? There was a lot of people that were like, oh, hell no, man. I can't bump that shit no more. There was a lot of people that were judgmental, judging P. Diddy, me being one of them. You know, I didn't want nothing to do with him, Meek Mill, Bad Bunny, and anyone else he was in a room alone with. I said, nah, I'm good with that. That's some wild shit right there. That right there is tuna fish and baby oil, and I'm not into that. But now, as the story starts to unfold, as he gets his due process, as he's in court, there are going to be a lot of people that are talking about him. There's going to be a lot of things that are exposed. But it seems like somehow, some way, money, good lawyers, and a lot of people recanting statements and stepping back and reanalyzing the situation is actually helping Diddy. You know, from my perspective on it, having been through trials and court cases, I can tell you guys the absolute truth, man. It sounds good on paper until a person actually has to go up there and testify against you and look you in the eyes and say what they have to say, especially during cross-examination. Now, yesterday, Cassie went through some cross-examination. And of course, what the lawyers try to do is assassinate your character. They want to talk about you, not about their client. They don't give a fuck what the client did to you. And of course, when it comes to Cassie, she did go through some stuff. She was a victim. But was she a victim of her own fortune? Meaning, did she put herself in that position and just take it and start to enjoy it? You know, was it deserving? Never that. I'm never going to say a man beating on a woman is deserving. Not at all. Not even close, right? But did she enjoy the drugs, the money, the parties, the other men? It seems to me like, you know, she in the beginning was a little skeptical, but being young, being a little rambunctious, being a little out there, you know, being a little sexual, she started to participate in the shenanigans just a little too much. And the lawyers brought that all out. You know, so what it made her look like is a party girl. It made her look like someone who could have got away anytime she wanted. And you know what, being in relationships, let me explain something to you. You know, I've been in good relationships and I've been in bad relationships. Relationships where the chick is just doing too much. I got to get somewhere, right? Yet you stick around. And then I've seen females that were in abusive relationships or going through some hardship, and yet they stick around. You know, and it's not like someone has you balled and chained to a wall. It's not like someone has you locked in where you can't get out. But a lot of these women are so in love, or a lot of these men are so in love that they're thinking that, oh, that person is going to change. It's just going to take a minute. It's going to take a while. But change never happens. If anything, they change. Yeah, they change. They get a little worse. They get a little worse because as you allow them to continually treat you the way they do, well, they're going to start upping the ante. They're going to all in, right? They're going to start putting more chips in the pot. They're going to start being worse because you allowed them to do that. Maybe you'll allow them to do this. It's a bad mentality, but it's a mentality. Relationships, especially bad ones, there ain't nothing like them, man. They could ruin a person's whole mental and fuck it off for the next man or the next woman in the next relationship. It's truth, right? There are even those women that tend to be with those type of individuals that put hands on them and do things like that because it's like something in their mind. It's normal to them. They're used to that. They figure as long as fucking he doesn't knock my teeth, I'm good, right? It's a crazy situation. Anyways, so the way Cassie made it look yesterday, what helped P. Diddy was basically saying she went along with a lot of the shenanigans. Yes, there was some forceful things going on. Yes, but of course, they're going to need more evidence than that. We're going to see what all these other witnesses bring to the table because she absolutely, at least in day one, didn't make herself look good and didn't make Diddy look as bad as some people think he is. I'm starting to wonder and think, is this man coming home? Does this man have a fucking an ace up his sleeve? I'm sure his lawyer does. You know, I've heard that a lot of the evidence, a lot of the videotapes, a lot of the things showing the freak offs and all these different big wig Hollywood people that put them in compromising positions is not going to be used in court. It's going to be inadmissible. How can something that is self-recorded, I understand if someone else records you, it's against the law in the state of California to record people and do all that. But how is this something you recorded for your own pleasure? How can it not be used against you? I don't get that, but maybe there's some loophole that Diddy's lawyer found. In any case, man, the situation in the trial is starting to look very fishy. It's about as fishy as that fucking chick I smelled the other day. It's very fishy, right? And they're focusing, at least right now in the trial, more so on these women that he was abusive to, which, of course, we've seen it on tape. He sure was, right? At least to Cassie. But what about the trafficking situation? What about what Bieber went through? Pobrecito Bieber, he should get life just for that. If Bieber did go through that, right? What about why Meek Mill's fucking left vertebrae is out of whack? What about Bad Bunny, why he wore a wedding dress? The voto's not Rodman. I'm going to say this, right? It's starting to look like the pendulum is swinging Diddy's way, and he's not going to get life like we thought he was going to get. Because when I first heard, and they said, oh, there's crates of baby oil, pallets of baby oil, there's all kinds of tapes. You got Justin Bieber over there crying on Will Smith's son's shoulder. You got all kinds of shit going down. I was like, oh, man, Diddy's in trouble, right? He was doing some wild shit. Some of them accusations were wild, but now we're starting to hear less and less and less about that, and more so just about a typical guy who was doing too much, who was pretty sexual. And one thing I know about the state of California, and I know it's going to upset some people, and people are going to be like, nah, it's the truth. Them weirdos get a lot of love, bro. I'm here to tell you, man, they get away with some shit. They get away with shit. They get a lot of love. And, man, it's not going to be what you think it is. Now, do I think Diddy's going home tomorrow? Do I think he's going to beat this whole case? No, absolutely not. Obviously, he's going to do some time in federal prison, okay? And I keep saying the state of California, and my bad. This is a federal case. It has nothing to do with the state of California. My bad, right? But at the end of the day, P. Diddy, right, is sitting comfortable right now. But today and tomorrow and the next day in a trial might bring something different. There might be another bombshell witness that pops up, and it just goes up. It goes up, and it goes all bad for Diddy. But as of right now, it doesn't look like he's going to be doing life in prison. In fact, it looks like he's going to get a slap on the wrist. Maybe 5, 10, 15. That ain't nothing. Really, honestly, compared to the time I've done and other people have done, a 5-year sentence, man, that ain't shit. That's the whole time. You could do that standing on your head on the toilet. That's toilet time. 10 years, it's getting a little tricky. It's getting a little tricky because you got to understand, the more time prison, I equate prison to a casino. The longer you're there, the more fucked up it becomes. The more you lose, right? So prison's the same way. The longer you're in prison, the more obstacles in your path, the more drama that goes on, the more riots, the more stabbings, the more, and it's hard to stay out the way for that long. 5 years, you can duck and dodge, try to blend in. But I've seen dudes go in one day and get life the next, right? But what I'm saying is you can stay out the way. 10 is getting a little tricky. 15, well, goddamn, right? Anything after that, man, is uncivilized. And you might as well just be sitting there for the duration because you damn near wasted a chunk of your life anyways. What I'm saying is all these naysayers and people that are like, that believe like Diddy did all this shit. He needs to fucking stay in prison forever. I don't know what he did besides putting hands on Cassie, to be totally honest with you. And no one has proved otherwise. And I'm just being real. Do I support Diddy? Absolutely not. Never would I support someone accused of these types of charges, man. I got to see how the shit works out for him, right? And even then, his name is forever tainted with me. No Diddy, right? Straight up. I don't know about if those fucking videos with him and Meek Mill in the closet going to Pound Town are real. I don't know if he really did, you know, what they're saying he did. I don't even know if there was really fucking a crate of baby oil. One thing I do know for sure is Costco was upset with them. The American people are upset with them. And Cassie definitely has a reason to be upset with them. But again, all she proved during her testimony in day one was that she was a willing participant in a lot of this stuff. And so, man, you know, when it comes to jury trials, judges, things of that nature, man, they are going to look at every person who goes on that stand, every person's past, every person's history. And it's like, if you're sitting there saying, oh, yeah, I enjoyed some parts of it, but some parts I didn't. Did you or did you not fuck that guy? Right? That's just basically the point and shoot question. Point blank. Did you or did you not? Well, I did, but I didn't enjoy it. Then why did you continue to do it? Well, he told me if I didn't, he would release tapes on me. Man, there was a lot that she knew allegedly that she could have went and you know, linked up with somebody, got her a lawyer, did whatever. It wasn't like she was in the house all day long with a whip on her. Okay, there was plenty of times she was at these festivals with a smile on her face, you know, and yes, maybe behind the scenes within the home, she was a scared, battered woman. Maybe so. But at the end of the day, man, there was plenty of opportunity for her to reach out or to get reached out to. And she didn't make the conscious choice or decision to do that. And it happens a lot in domestic violence situations. I can't judge any woman that's going through that because I've never went through that, right? So I know people threaten. I know men are harsh and they're like, okay, man, when do we get home? When you start seeing someone grit their teeth and they're not opening when they talk, you need to be very, very, very worried. I remember when we used to go to Kmart when I was little and I used to act stupid in the toilet. And my mom used to say, when do we get home? You get your fucking ass. I used to be like, oh, no, she's gritting her teeth. And she ain't non-scante. It's all bad, right? So if Diddy was at the fucking Met Gala with Cassie and Cassie happened to give Bono a fucking hug, right? And P. Diddy didn't get his kiss on the cheek. He's like, all right, yeah. You know, one thing that she did expose, which was rather unusual, or which got exposed, is that, you know, meanwhile, you're thinking Diddy, man, freak off parties. He's doing all this, man. This motherfucker probably hung like a horse out there. Nope. They said he was born with a Hershey kiss. And now the revelation of that makes people wonder. Now you start to think, okay, it all starting to make sense. The pieces of the puzzle are starting to come together. Why he was doing these freak offs, why he was the way he was. And because, man, if you're born with a tic tac, you know what I'm saying? If you can't even get past the lips, if you've never felt fallopian tube, then you don't know what you're missing, or you do know what you're missing, and you have to live vicariously through other people to explore and enjoy that. So there's a lot of different things going on with P. Diddy's trial. But as of right now, I'm saying the defense looks good, you know, just by what I've been listening to. And again, there's a lot of people making content about this, a lot of people giving, and it's all opinions, just like mine's an opinion. Don't take it for pura 10-5 aquí. It's just an opinion and a perspective, because you got to think about this. And this is true. I've seen dudes like Poetic Flacco talk about it. Then I seen this chick, she's like a reporter, lightweight reporter, talk about it. They had two different opinions. Everyone's getting the same information. Cameras, recordings, all that, it's not allowed in the courtroom, in the courthouse, not in a federal system, not in the federal courtroom, right? So it's not like it's California or state proceedings where anyone could go in there off the streets if the seat's available, standing room only, you know? But in this situation, it's only secondhand information, what people are getting. So it's up to you to interpret and formulate your own opinion and your plot. So I'm going to hear a lot of different things, but from what I've heard, what I've deciphered, what I've listened to, so far so good for Diddy, right? Do I think he's still going to come out doing time? Yeah, I don't think he's going home. But when I say going home, I mean he's going to go home eventually. You know, in the beginning, when he got locked up, everybody was like, oh, you might as well fucking lock that dude up forever. He's a wild character. Who would want him around on the streets? right? And I always say, when I think Diddy, man, I used to think Diddy, I used to think him dance, take that, dancing with Mace and Biggie. I don't think Diddy like that anymore. Now, when I think Diddy, I think about him um, in a picture with Wes Watson at a donut shop, thinking that the combined weight between both of those guys, what do you get when you put a Tootsie Pop and a Tic Tac together? Yeah, an upset individual because they didn't crave your sweet. You didn't fuck your craving up. Your sweet tooth is still sweet tooth. You didn't get enough, right? So them dudes were sitting at a combined weight of, and that was a fucking crazy conversation, huh? You had Wes Watson begging to go to a Diddy party, and Diddy begging and hoping that Wes Watson was working with more than he was, which allegedly, according to everybody on the internet, they're both doing bad. It's bad. It's a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? That why you think fucking the other dude, man, the other brother that was there, man, he was smiling like a motherfucker, right? Because he knew. He's like, man, I don't know what these dudes is working with, brother, but I'm different, right? I'm roadcaster microphone. You got me fucked up. Anyways, you can't get locked up for having a small penis, but one thing you can for sure do is get locked up and do time for beating on women and doing weird shit. As far as the trafficking and all that different shit going on, I don't know. I don't know, man, if it's going to get worse for Diddy, but as of right now, it's looking pretty good. A lot better than I thought it would be. I thought they would have bombshell after bombshell, and all Cassie did, she got up there pregnant, of course, so people feel sorry for her. Didn't take her long to get pregnant on. She got right into it. She got right back in the sheets. In between the sheets, right? She said, fuck all that. She got right back to it. And believe, everything that you do in life and everything that you've done, whatever skeleton she has in her closet will be exposed by the prosecution or by the defense. The defense attorney is going to be on her. Unfortunately, man, she's a woman, a pregnant woman, so I hope they take it easy. You don't want no fucking anything bad to happen. But at the same time, man, them dudes are dirtbag dirty. Them lawyers right there, they're going for the gusto and the kill. They don't care. They don't care, man. All they care about is their client. I have lawyers like that, just family lawyers and shit. My lawyer is a shark. That about to fucking bite the baby mom's head off. It's just real. Anyways, do you think Diddy's going home? Or do you think it's just the beginning and he's got a lot more to come? I mean, they're losing witnesses. So they're numbering the witnesses. They have witness number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which probably are all women. They have witness number 3. They can't even find her or him or whoever it is, right? Because when it's Diddy, it's definitely him and her. They cannot find these individuals. And again, let me express to you guys something. Just because he's into what people like us would say is weird shenanigans and shit, that's his preference. That's his preference. As long as it's not kids and he's not forcing no one, hey, if they like bumping fucking bottoms together, that's on them, right? I don't know. All I'm saying is he can't be locked up for that. It's got to stick to, was he trafficking women? Was he drugging people? Was he doing all these types of things? This is what they're trying to find out. And if these witnesses are not coming forward, if they're losing witnesses, if these tapes, these sex tapes are being thrown out, what evidence do they have against them? Some dude screaming on TikTok talking about Diddy fucking touched him. I don't know. I'm not sitting here and trying to fucking and protect Diddy. I'm just saying, man, looking at it from a legal standpoint, like you got to have the evidence to convict someone. And right now, from what I'm hearing and seeing, and usually the feds, man, they do their homework and it's pretty much your canceled Christmas, right? It doesn't look that way right now. There's some wild shenanigans going on. I can get into conspiracy theories and tell you why about the elite and how I think it went from everyone disrespecting Diddy and getting away from him and running away from him because they knew he was bad news and he had a black cloud hanging over him, to now people are starting to come back and realize, damn, man, we got to keep this man quiet. Let's help him out. Let's help him get out. Call it what you want. But these are the type of things that I see that other people don't. I'm just throwing it out there. It's a video to do. It's Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to go fishing this weekend. I'm going to get my fishalization on, man. I'm going to enjoy myself with my children. I'm going to live my life as a free man, someone who has changed his life. But with all this Diddy shit going on, man, I've never seen so many people vesting their time into a dude that has these type of wild allegations. Again, like I'm saying, he's getting his due process. He's in court. He's not convicted. So I can't literally say or call him a weirdo. But there was some weird shit alleged. And that alleged word, especially on YouTube, man, goes a long way. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. Look, I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in. It's the betterment of all people. I got another banger coming up. It's going to be controversial. It's definitely going to be controversial. I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I don't give a fuck, man. I'm used to it. The gun. Bang, bang.